Jennifer Stanonis with your forecast and an update continuing tracking this lake effect snow band. We've been getting hit with it since yesterday, had a brief lull early this morning, and now it has re-intensified and continues to shift northward and impact northern Erie County, even portions of Niagara County now as well. And as we look back over the lake, we are still going to continue to see some fluctuation in the movement of this band, still some oscillation a little bit north and a little south. As we progress through the rest of this afternoon and into the evening as well, we are expected to see an impact for the evening commute, including for the north towns as well. So zooming right in, you can see this band, it doesn't extend too far inland and it is pretty narrow, but we are seeing some heavy snowfall right over downtown Buffalo currently. So places and actually we just got an update. City Hall is closing at 3 to be ahead of the evening commute. We are seeing continuing the heavy snowfall at times for downtown Buffalo into the evening commute. And I'll show you that on future look. There is a potential for that, including the north towns. But right now, heavy snow continues downtown up into North Buffalo, South Buffalo, into Lackawanna, out along the 190 to the 90 into Cheektowaga, Amherst, and the 290 there, and extending out toward Clarence. So we have snow-covered roads out there, greatly reduced visibilities, and we're going to continue to see that right on into the evening from this band that is continuing to move through. So we'll see it stuck at times too. So we could see a quick half a foot to a foot of snow in places including the north towns, downtown Buffalo, as we continue to deal with this lake effect band. And right now as we zoom in here, you can see Niagara Square getting the heavy snowfall as well, and north up the 90 and out as well into Cheektowaga and also for South Buffalo. As we head into Grand Island as well, South Grand Island, Amherst, out toward Harris Hill and the 324, and also Route 5 getting some snow too. But I want to show you north right now, the 290, we are seeing the snow showers there. We're seeing this continuing to move northward, so expected to impact places like Grand Island as well as we continue through the afternoon hours. So heads up on that. East Amherst seeing the snow, even moderate to heavy snow. And also we see in Swarmville some of these snow showers along the 78 and south into Williamsville and Harris Hill. As we continue to track radar, Clarence out the 5 and East Clarence, Millgrove actually getting a little break from the snow showers, and also into Pembroke and out the 90 toward Batavia as well. Corfu seeing the snow and Fargo, and that does lighten up as they extend into Alexander. So the band not expected to be very long in length, but we are expecting places like northern Erie County into Niagara County to get some of this as well. Getting a little break further south right now, southern Erie County. We had reports of already a foot and a half of snow for many of those places. Central southern Erie County getting a brief break for the moment for the further south towns in East Aurora, West Falls, Boston, Orchard Park. Still some flurries there. But they're going to get hit again as that band shifts south once again later on, mid to even later evening hours. So more snow out of this, but we'll zoom in here. Lackawanna seeing some heavy snow, and also into West Seneca, Gardenville, and into Bladesdale. And as we zoom out here, I'll show you once again. So the heaviest snow extends from downtown Buffalo just north out through Amherst down into Lackawanna. So we're going to continue to see the snow showers continuing heavy at times with quick accumulations out of this lake band. Now this is something new. We've put traffic flows with the radar, especially with lake effect snow. You can really see the difference. We have a lot of green outside of the band, although still some slowdowns across portions of the south towns. But you can see right now, right under the heaviest band, we have big slowdowns right now around downtown, extending through North Buffalo out toward Amherst and also into Cheektowaga. So we have lots of reds and oranges like we saw yesterday, dealing with that again today from the lake bands. And the thing is with this band, it is continuing to shift a little bit more north. We're going to see some wobble out of this, a little north, a little south. So it's going to continue to impact communities even for the north towns for this afternoon and into the evening. So places that haven't seen a lot of snow out of this are expected to, before it does shift south once again later on tonight. So note that we are seeing still these snow-covered roads, greatly reduced visibilities, even right now, not even during commute time. So keep that in mind, and we are going to see this continuing, especially we're going to see probably an uptick in the slowdowns as we head into the evening commute. All right, let's go through all the weather alerts. We have several to cover the lake effect snow continuing and the Arctic blast of air that continues to impact us right through tomorrow morning. And we will continue to have this lake effect snow warning until tomorrow morning for northern Erie and Genesee counties. Goes until 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. And for southern Erie, Wyoming, Chautauqua, and Cattaraugus goes until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we could see an additional 1 to 2 feet. So we already seen 1.5 feet plus in some communities. We're going to get probably another 2 feet for some of these spots, especially for central and southern Erie County. So some of these snow totals could even approach maybe 3.5 to 4 feet potentially. Now, one thing to note, these snow ratios are pretty high. There's not a lot of water content in the snow, so it is pretty light and fluffy, so that makes it a little easier to get around, but it also can be more easily blown around, so that can greatly also reduce visibilities. But at least for shoveling and scraping it off your car, it's going to be a little more manageable. Lake effect snow warning, as you can see, for much of western New York, including all of Erie County. That includes downtown Buffalo, out toward Batavia, Warsaw, Gowanda, Ellicottville, through the south towns, Orchard Park, Hamburg. And this is what it looks like in terms of additional snowfall. So Buffalo could see potentially 1/2 foot to 1 foot of snow as we monitor this band. So it's quick moving snowfall rates, about 3 inches per hour, but occasionally it'll slow down and get stuck. So that's what we're going to really watch for, that we can see. I mean, 3-inch snowfall rates, we could see 3, 6, 9, 12, just 4 hours, about 1 foot of snow. You do the math. So we're continuing to monitor this band, as we could see quite a bit out of it quickly, but this is kind of the general look for additional snow totals for our area. So kind of that peak across central, southern Erie County, northern Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, out toward western Wyoming County, and potentially even kind of scraping that southwestern corner of Genesee County. So this is the kind of breakdown of what we're looking at for these snow totals, additional on top of what we've already seen since yesterday. We also have the cold. Before I get to future look and show you the band placement, we have the cold weather advisory continuing for all of us through Wednesday morning, and that includes all of western New York into northern Pennsylvania for wind chill values down to -15 to even -20. So note that bitter cold, these kinds of wind chills can cause frostbite in as little as 30 minutes on exposed skin. So we are looking at coldest part of this period will be during the morning hours. So we're going to continue to see very cold wind chills even through this afternoon into this evening, but especially overnight and into tomorrow morning. So note that especially as you head out the door. Snow totals so far, there's some of the reports you can see. We have this map highlighted in many locations. These are some coming in already 1.5 feet plus, adding to these numbers too. For Eden at 17.2. West Falls 17, Hamburg 16.9, Silver Creek 16, East Aurora 14. We do have a full list on our website, WGRZ.com. We continue to update it as we get more snow reports in. Wales 13, Elma Center 12.5, Boston 11.1, Colden 10.6, and southeast Buffalo already 1/2 foot of snow. And a lot of these communities, we're going to see additional snowfall and even adding to it right now. And as we look around western New York, some of these highways, so the 90 at Dunkirk, at least some time to clear some of these roads out. Still reduced visibility is at the 190, at the 290 here. So we're continuing to see snow-covered roads. And actually, this doesn't look too bad. Some of the cameras look pretty low with visibilities right now and just snow-covered roads and whiteout conditions. Okay, here's the band placement. It's continuing to move northward and actually impacting Niagara County as we head into mid to later afternoon briefly. Places like Niagara Falls, Lockport, even getting some of the snow accumulations. Then it shifts south once again, back over Buffalo to Cheektowaga, North Towns, down into Hamburg, but extending out into Genesee County as well, Batavia. So evening commute time, it could be across northern Erie County and extending out into Batavia as well, and potentially south into Hamburg. So again, as you know, with lake effect snow, just a little wobble a couple miles north or south, then many other communities are expected to be impacted with the snow-covered roads and big slowdowns and reduced visibilities. As you see, as we progress through the evening, though, it will generally start shifting south. Angola, Boston, Colden, Silver Creek getting the snow once again, and we'll continue to see it shifting slowly but surely down into the southern tier once again, northern Chautauqua, Cattaraugus for overnight briefly, and it will, at least overnight, start to weaken. The weather parameters for the lake effect snow machine will kind of start falling apart, and we'll see it slowly but surely weakening. It is expected to move a little bit more northward early tomorrow morning, but in a very weakened state, and it might clip Hamburg and Buffalo one more time quickly, briefly, before then it ends. And we actually look forward to some sunshine the rest of Wednesday. So I wanted to show you a closer shot here for the northern section, as we are going to be impacted from Niagara Falls and may even brush through Youngstown and Olcott briefly, but just especially southern Niagara County, even out to Medina. Probably see briefly this band moving through for the early evening hours before it shifts south once again and impacting communities across northern Erie County into Genesee as well. Then it'll shift south, central and southern Erie County, extending out toward Warsaw as well, later evening and overnight. And then we'll zoom in on our southern zone here as that band continues to shift southward and impact, again, southern Erie County, maybe even northern Chautauqua and Cattaraugus as well into the overnight hours. Before then, it does shift northward, but in a weakened state, and then it is over. So we do have this weather impact alert continuing through Wednesday, at least into Wednesday, for lake effect snow into early Wednesday morning until Wednesday night, really, for the cold. So we're continuing to have for the lake effect snow and cold impact weather alert continuing for the lake effect snow showers east, northeast of the lakes. Very cold wind chills dropping down -15 to even -20. So plan accordingly for the frigid conditions and also the slick roadways, low visibilities, even near whiteout conditions at times. All right, current temperatures right now, we have single digits across our area, 8 for Buffalo and Jamestown, 5 Olean and Wellsville, 7 for Bradford, but then I'll show you when we factor in the winds, feels like below zero, well below zero for many spots. But here's just a few more communities, as you can see, Franklinville and the single digits there as well. Angelica, Clarence, and Lake Erie water temperature at 33. We are around average. Ontario still hanging on to 35. There are those wind chill values, feels like 8 for Buffalo, -6 for Dunkirk, -10 Jamestown. So much colder south right now, -9 for that wind chill value in Olean and Wellsville, -8 for Bradford. So here's a live shot right now, downtown Buffalo. Whew, you can barely see it on this camera. We have that heavy snow continuing, lake effect snow, and we're going to continue to see that as the bands, at least the band will continue to impact northern Erie County into Niagara before it shifts south. So here's that blast of Arctic air this week that'll last through Wednesday into Wednesday night. And future lake temperatures, at least this is the wind chill values, what it'll feel like outside, well below zero for much of the rest of the day today for many communities into this evening as well. But notice it's overnight and early tomorrow morning, we're kind of bottoming out with our temperatures and these wind chill values, even -15 expected around Buffalo Metro, out to Batavia, and even down to around -20, even -21 for that wind chill value for Jamestown as you start the day tomorrow, and -20 for Olean and places like Wellsville. So at least in the afternoon on Wednesday, we get above zero for many spots, even south, Gowanda, but we're still going to be cold. That is until finally Thursday will be well above zero with these wind chill values. And there you see the temperatures, highs expected to finally, slowly but surely increase closer to average. Thursday and Friday will be upper 20s to right around 30 degrees. So finally we can say bye to that Arctic blast, and we actually have some warmth even in the next couple of weeks, at least milder temperatures to look forward to, and limited lake effect. But that is not the case right now. I want to show you a future look once again, this wider shot as we continue to track this lake band. So impacting communities, North Townsend and Niagara County as we continue through this afternoon, and then it shifts back south again. So the evening commute, expecting even downtown Buffalo could be very, very slow go, tough travel expected for some big cities locally. So we are expecting to see that continuing through the evening commute, but it will slowly but surely be shifting southward. Central, southern Erie County once again getting in the mix with some quick accumulations as that band continues to shift south and weaken overnight before it does finally try to make its way north once again, but in a very weakened state. You can see it even hugging the shoreline as it retracts and finally ends as we head into late morning. So we'll actually enjoy a decent rest of the day on Wednesday in terms of precipitation. It'll be dry, but very cold still, and that'll carry us into Thursday, but at least temperatures will be milder. We have a dry start to Thursday, but then we're going to see snow returning, some limited lake effect potentially east and northeast of the lakes as we head into later Thursday and into Friday morning. So that's something else we'll watch. It should be brief, but it's another time period that we're watching as well, later Thursday into early Friday morning. And then we'll see more great skiing out of this at least. Not great on the roads, but we'll have the hills, ski hills, nice for another ski weekend this weekend. We got to enjoy it while we can. Tonight's forecast, so we'll have the cold and lake effect snow northeast of the lakes and then east, and could see 1 to 2 feet additionally for some of these locations, central and southern Erie County, for some of these south towns. Low temperatures in the single digits to start your morning off tomorrow. Wind chill values -15 to even -20 for our area. The lake effect snow finally ends. We'll enjoy a nice dry day, but cold, and with those temperatures struggling to even get into the teens. And then it won't be quite as cold as we head into Thursday. Here's your 7-day outlook. We have that weather impact alert, though, continuing through Wednesday for the cold for all of our zones. Thursday, we'll see some snow showers potentially later on in the day setting up. We'll have temperatures, though, highs in the 20s, so we're back to average, or at least close to. And so some relief from the cold. And you can see, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get that cold for the rest of this winter, actually. Our pattern is going to be flipping. So we actually look to be around average for at least the next week after this cold blast of air finally retreats. And we'll have temperatures right through the weekend in those 20s, if not even some low 30s. And especially on Sunday, we'll still see some rounds of snow in the forecast, but some dry time as well. So there's a couple things we'll still be tracking once we get through the latest lake effect event and cold conditions. So we'll have more details, of course, through the afternoon and into this evening on Channel 2, and also on our website, of course, WGRZ.com, and all of our app platforms and social media.